Actually, yeah, so we are live on Facebook now. So to welcome everyone who's actually been with this festival, or to a warm welcome to people who joined for this session. We are privileged to have Julie Becker join us for the keynote of the Step Up Festival. I will, of course, introduce Julie, who will be giving a keynote and who's been actually instrumental behind sustainable finance, not just in Europe, not just in Luxembourg, but globally. Um, to people who are in sustainable finance, I don't think, Julie, you need me to give the introduction, but for a lot of our audience who's kind of getting started with finance in general, I think we need to tell who a bit of background. But before I jump into that, for people who are joining for this session, I wanted to give a background on MatterVest, as well as the Step Up Festival and what we're trying to do. So I'll be your host today, and my name is Mayur. I'm the co-founder of MatterVest, where we are basically trying to build a bridge between sustainable finance and all of us on this call, which is in financial parlance called retail investors. So that's what we are looking to do, because we want to empower young working adults to manage the money in a better way and while also being planet friendly. And that's what we're looking to do. We organized Step Up because what we wanted to do was we wanted to get different stakeholders onto one stage. We wanted to create a medium where all these stakeholders, the actors in the sustainable finance sector, whether they're activists or whether they're researchers, fund managers, bankers, let's get all together and demystify this so that the adoption can be accelerated. And the whole name on the word came from the fact that we need to step up towards sustainable development. So that's what we're trying to do with the festival. And we have a huge range of sessions across today as well as tomorrow. So please do join in. You can join in via Zoom, or you can also join in on Facebook pages. And you can hear from a range of experts and different kinds of formats that we have. So with that being said, I'm not the keynote speaker here, Julie is. So let me introduce Julie. Julie Becker is the Deputy CEO of Luxembourg Stock Exchange. Her career in the financial sector in Luxembourg spans over 2 decades and includes positions in the Central Bank of Luxembourg and Dexia. Julie is a strong advocate of sustainable finance, which is why when I dropped her a LinkedIn message, I got a reply, and I was very excited to have her give the keynote for the first edition of Step Up. And she's also the founder of Luxembourg Green Exchange, which was established in 2016 to promote and facilitate sustainable investments worldwide. She is a globally renowned expert in sustainable finance. Like I said, for people belonging to sustainable finance space, you don't need an introduction. She also represented Luxembourg Stock Exchange and LGS at numerous expert forums and conferences. And she was appointed to the prestigious EU high-level expert group on sustainable finance from 2016 to 2018. Julie, the screen is completely yours because we don't have stage these days. So over to you to start the keynote.
Thank you very much, Maya, for your kind words. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm extremely pleased to have the opportunity to speak at this online festival dedicated to one of my favorite topics, sustainable finance. I would like to start by congratulating the MatterVest team on this great initiative. The work MatterVest is doing to increase our awareness about sustainable finance and help guide our behavior and investment choices in a more sustainable direction is extremely important. Invest in what matters. I wish the MatterVest team plenty of success. I need to give a sense of purpose to my professional life. I need to know that the work that I do and all the hours and efforts that I put into it every single day contribute to creating a positive change in our society in one way or another. And as you registered for this festival and you support MatterVest goals, I think this is valid for you too. Making a positive impact, having a purpose. These are terms that are often used to describe what motivates and drives millennials when they choose where to work, what to do, how to live. Many of you are part of this group. I'm here to tell you that purpose and impact are becoming more and more important factors for professionals of all generations across multiple industries. Over the past few years, people have gained a new consciousness not just of how we as individuals can contribute to creating a positive change, but that we have a responsibility to do so. It's our duty. 5 years ago now, the United Nations established the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. Shortly after, at the COP21 in Paris, 189 countries signed and later ratified an agreement to combat climate change and accelerate the actions and investments needed to create a sustainable and low carbon future. These global goals unite all of us. They serve as a roadmap and help us align our efforts to create a more inclusive society and a more sustainable world together. And finance needs to be part of this journey. Finance needs to form part of the solution. I work for an exchange, for the Luxembourg Stock Exchange. Our core business is the listing and trading of international debt securities. And in the area of sustainability, we asked ourselves, what could an exchange contribute to sustainable development and the fight against climate change? We looked at what we could do that would make a difference. And we established the Luxembourg Green Exchange, or LGX, exactly 4 years ago. LGX is the world's leading platform exclusively dedicated to sustainable securities. This means that all the financial instruments that are displayed on the platform raise financing for sustainable development projects. We help reorient capital flows in the right direction, such as to expand electricity network in Africa, to build railway connections in China or hospitals in Southeast Asia, to improve the quality of water and sanitation in Latin America, or to help climate refugees to rebuild their lives. We make it easier for investors to find information on sustainable investment opportunities and thereby make more informed and impact-conscious investment decisions. Today, we are extremely proud that at LGX we display more than 780 securities, raising a total amount of 300 billion euro for sustainable investment projects. 300 billion. This is indeed significant. Through this financing, green and social projects have become reality across the world, creating a measurable and direct positive impact on the lives of millions of people. But is it enough? No, far from it. Climate change still has to be fixed and fast. And now we also have to support a sustainable recovery. Sustainable investment still represents only a small fraction of the overall debt issuance and assets under management in the world today. The funding needed to reach the sustainable development goals and to reduce emissions to curb climate change is enormous. Public funding will not be enough. We need to accelerate the amount of private investment and reorient capital flows into sustainable investment projects. This is the only way. We have to make sustainable finance mainstream and even go further. Finance needs to become sustainable by default. We still have a long way to go and a lot of work in front of us, but things are changing, slowly but surely. Investors increasingly want to know where their money is going and what impact their investments will have on future generations. More and more investors base their investment decisions not only on the expected financial return, but as importantly, on their ethical values and own convictions. Some want to contribute to fight climate warming and the effects of climate change. Others want to fight inequality or contribute to female empowerment. What all these investors have in common is that they want their investment to mean something more than a financial return only. Sustainable finance is about investing according to your ethical values and own convictions. It's when you put your money to work for the cause that matters to you. As consumers, we have a tremendous power. More and more consumers decide to support a brand or boycott a brand based on the brand's perceived values. We tend to prefer brands from companies that stand for something, companies that embrace ESG considerations, that take a clear stance against racism, or other forms of discrimination. We prefer to buy products and services from companies that we believe care. Finance is no different. Investors, especially professional investors like big pension funds or investment companies or insurance companies, have the power and the duty to make finance more sustainable. When, as retail investors, you invest based on your values and convictions, you contribute to creating a fairer and more inclusive world. When you insist on investing sustainably in your conversation with your financial advisor, you force financial professionals to create more sustainable investment products. Based on your demand, you stimulate offer. You are in full control of how you invest your money. If you want to know where your money is going, if you care about what impact your investments will have on the planet and on future generations, you must make conscious and informed investment decisions. As I said, I work for an exchange. Exchanges ensure transparency around financial instruments and financial transactions on regulated markets. Our mission is to protect and educate investors and provide information and data that are essential to secure the well-functioning of financial markets. But I believe that our role goes beyond these functions. As capital market players, we need to drive the shift to sustainable finance and actively contribute to creating a more inclusive and sustainable economy. We need to make sure that finance supports the real economy. One way to go about this is to create awareness among investors and potential investors, like some of you, of the choices that you have as an investor, and help you express your sustainability preferences. Make it easy for you to find investment vehicles with a positive environmental or social impact in which to invest, and help you navigate the world of sustainable finance. This is what led us to establish last May the LGX Academy, where our sustainable finance experts offer courses on a range of topics linked to sustainable finance, from the fundamental principles to the related products, standards, regulations, and market practices. For the same reasons, I am also proud to share with you that next week, we will launch the LGX Data Hub, a centralized data hub that offers structured and meaningful data on a vast range of sustainable securities, allowing investors to compare the impact of different investments and build sustainable investment portfolios. Transparency, education, and access to meaningful data. These aspects are key to the growth of sustainable finance. Many of you are only getting started on your journey as a professional and as an investor. Maybe you have no idea where you want to be in 5 years from now. But if you are here at this online Step Up Festival today, it's likely because you want to make an impact and be part of the positive change. Hold on that thought and let your values lead you. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Julie, for that inspirational speech. And I must say that it's a lot of work by LGX and other similar players in the ecosystem, which is kind of giving a platform where MataWest and other startups, and a lot of them are getting featured in the Step Up Festival, are able to build products around sustainable finance. Otherwise, honestly, it would be very tough to do it. So thanks a lot for joining us, and thanks a lot for inspiring us again and again.
Thank you.